You got it.
All right. Welcome, everyone, once again to the Gaikokukokujin Podcast. I'm your host, Pop, and we got Willymane over here. Right now, Graham can't make it. We're all in different time zones. It is what it is.
Yeah, but Graham is always, me and him will probably do something later for damn sure. Yeah. We'll do that after hours. So,
and for those of you guys who are new, this is a podcast not only for Black nerds, but for nerds and anyone in general, where we take deep dives into hip hop, gaming, anime, societal issues, and we also do self-improvement. And if you interested in something like that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It will go a long way into making this channel grow.
For sure.
But anyways, guys, we're gonna take a deep dive into this issue that I've seen recurring in general, and this specific issue with a named basketball player, PJ Washington. Man, this dude,
my man is taking L's on purpose, like
L's.
Like, you think he would learn? Because like at first I felt for him. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like, oh, everybody's like, yo, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I was like, maybe it wasn't that, blah blah. And then everything happens. You're like, oh, he's gonna do everything to try to get his his son back.
Yeah, son.
And then he's got another Instagram model. So it's just kind of like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like,
this.
So I get it. Like, I'm not gonna say he's wrong or right, but like I understand. But like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, we gotta focus on something out here.
So for a recap for those of you guys who are new to this issue, basically, Brittany Renner, right? A well-known, infamous Instagram thotty, right? This girl this woman, grown-ass woman, has been on Instagram for a while. She's been, quote unquote, she has many notches under her belt. We'll keep it like that. So she even went on her Instagram, where she has said not verbatim, but she has pretty much said where NBA players and other athletes are dumb, and if a girl wanted to make a come up, they could easily have a baby by that named athlete because they don't use condoms or whatever. Lo and behold, she does it with PJ Washington. Granted, he was groomed, apparently, allegedly, while he was going to college. He was at his games and whatnot.
And you can't really downplay that.
Long story short, they get married. They have a kid. She breaks up with him, and he's there paying child support as a new basketball player, probably paying millions of dollars a year. And she's living her life, thotting it up and everything. And this dude, thinking that you would learn his lesson, is with another IG model. This is a recurrent pattern that we've seen in many different people in the industry, in the music industry, and in the sports industry. What's your take on it, Willymane?
I mean, we've all been young. Let's just say that. But I mean, you got to think, like, they live this lifestyle. So I've seen this lifestyle. If we compare it to the military, it's like a rock star lifestyle. Like, you get in these places and you put in these situations, and when that's your surroundings, like, I'm sure IG models are like a dime a dozen in their surroundings. So it's like, you're trying to look for these women who you potentially think are gonna be for you. And I mean, they all have their own motives and hidden agendas. I think the biggest thing is that we're overlooking, and not to say that he's right or she's wrong or either or, but the fact is that the grooming portion is like, you have to look at it like, we live in a society where like men grooming women, older men grooming younger women is frowned upon, and we don't really take that into consideration when it comes from the opposite sex. Like, if women are grooming younger men, I mean, of course you see these schools where like older women are like having sex with their students and things like that, but like, we don't really look at, like, you got to think, these guys coming out of college straight into the NBA, what let's say there are a lot of responsible young men in college, but there's a lot of irresponsible young men in college. And
Facts.
like it's debauchery. Like, let's just be honest. Like, college is debauchery, and to be groomed out of that, like, oh yeah, you're gonna do great things, and they build them up. I think the biggest thing was that they actually got married, so she was like heavily either invested or I mean, but you got two sides to every story. I mean, we don't know what her side of the story is. I haven't heard any interviews or anything from her.
Her side of the story. Like,
yo, I mean, we gotta play both sides. Like, you can't just be like, oh, he's all at fault. I mean, if we're being honest, because that's just not how the world works. There's always two sides to every story. I feel like I'm a very neutral person when it comes to any type of situation, because like I said, there's two sides to every story. Like, I'm not saying I agree with either of them, because it's just a little bit like it's shenanigans. It's straight up shenanigans. Like, both of them, bro. Like,
I'm gonna just be honest, man. this dude, for lack of a better term, he's a dummy. He's a dummy, like crash test dummy. Like,
let this man live.
Bruh. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay. Let's give him the fact that I don't know his background, but he's naive. He doesn't understand females. But it's like, you gotta understand, in this day and age, a lot of these females on IG are just straight up using their looks they pretty much see these dudes in the NBA and entertainment as licks, man. Like, they're trying to get a come up. And I'm pretty sure going into the NBA, like, older heads has told him, his organization was telling him, like, yo, watch out for these gold diggers, because this is not the first. This is not the first instance.
They probably got a whole briefing on that.
Yeah, these are generations of like the same old story. Like, and it's like, this happens to him. And on top of that, she said it on her IG. It's not like she's hiding it. She said it on her IG, like, hey, this is what I'm about.
So let's play the second story, because like it really comes down to like conquest, if we're thinking about it, like men in general. Like, let's talk about ego and like pride and all this other stuff. Like, all right, she says this and you're like, okay, bet. Your goal now is like, oh, I can prove her wrong. Like, I can change that. And I mean, essentially he played himself, because like, I get, like, he just reverse wasn't that Uno guy card. Yeah, like, she hit him with the reverse Uno card. Like, oh, you thought. But that's the thing, is like, a lot of these dudes take these women to be fools, like, and that's not always the case. Like, I mean, I think about like my play sister. Like, she was a savage out there. Like, at times, like, she was more savage than me. And when I was younger, I was just like, yo, like, how you so heartless? But like, she's playing the game, bro. Like, and she's winning right now. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, she knows how to play the game. She knows how to manipulate people. Like, and that's the thing. I think that women can manipulate men a lot better than men can manipulate women.
For sure.
To a certain extent. I mean, there are manipulative men, but I mean, you can't really underplay women at this point, like, at all. Like, they're just as cunning, just as egotistic, like everything. Like, they can finesse you out of anything. And the thing is, our system in the United States is geared towards helping women.
Exactly. Facts.
Period. Like, because now look at all the millions of dollars that he's gonna lose, like, off of that slip up. Like, and the court system is like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, pay that money. Like, and that goes into the system being broken, because like, truthfully, like, I don't think that you should pay child support based off of how much money you make, bro. Like, that is kind of ridiculous. Like, because, bro, like, that's ridiculous. Like,
because they go off of your lifestyle. The man's lifestyle.
I get that, but that lifestyle isn't forever. Especially in NBA players, like all these rich people, like, eventually the money runs out. I mean, and maybe it doesn't run out, but you got to think, like, let's take it down to middle class. Like, middle class dude, same situation, because it does not just happen in that top tier. Same situation. He's paying $600-700 out of his paycheck. The man at that point is crippled, while And I mean, it goes both ways, to be honest, because there are men out there who are single fathers taking care of their kids and they're getting child support and things like that. But the system is designed to like essentially cripple one person for not being there as a full-time parent. And
Yeah.
truthfully, they're just hurting both households at that point, because the man has to work twice as hard now, or the woman has to work twice as hard now to support the child support. And then the other parent is at a point where they can kind of like relax and take the money and just kind of coast off of somebody else. So in the end, like, who really wins in this situation?
No one, because the child is the one that suffers.
Exactly, because both parents go through hardships, and then it's just like, damn, like the court system really put us up against each other, because like, and then a lot of people are spiteful out here. Like, I've seen ugly court cases among, I mean, we're in the military, so you already know that's like common denominator. Like, it's just like,
for sure.
Yeah, like dudes is talking about like paying $1,200, and I'm thinking like, bro, we don't. Hey, yeah,
that's rough.
I mean, think about it. Like, one kid is okay, but like you got 2, 3 kids, maybe 4 kids, bro. Like, it starts adding up, and it's just like, yo, you literally got one parent living in a shoebox, like, while the other parent is like still working, still getting money and things like that. And I get it, kids are expensive, but not like every month's $1,200 expensive. Like, and the thing is with these athletes, bro, they get paid ridiculous amount of money. So not only does like she could buy a new house every month, like
Exactly.
like buy a middle class house every month for 18 years and make buku money, bro. And he's just taking L's, like, and I don't get it, bro. Like, I mean, I think truthfully, if you make that much money, it should just be a lump sum. Like, okay, how much money would it cost to take care of a kid over the course of 18 years? And then like, all right, boom, I'll pay you. I mean, truthfully, what they say, it's like $1 million to raise a kid. So like at that level, like, all right, I pay you $5 million, and then we kind of just part our ways.
It's not gonna work like that, because of course the state is getting a piece of the pie.
Oh yeah,
with the late fees and all that shit. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they skimming off the top. So
yeah, you go down the rabbit hole and it goes deeper and deeper.
Yeah, but in my opinion, man, I think the root cause of this is, at least on the male side, is instant gratification and social media.
Yeah,
because social media, as good as it is, I mean, we're using social media right now on this platform, but as good as it is, the negatives is pretty much like you can see like what you dream of as a dude, you can see it, right? And men are very visual creatures, so of course you have all these IG models, they're fine as hell, and then especially if you get to a point where you have all this money, you have all this clout, you're gonna think like, oh man, like, I got the pick of the litter. And is these young guys, especially when they come out of college, they have no real experience with women like that. They don't have any real life experience in general. It's easy. It's like crabs in a barrel for these women, man. Because as I said before, like a lot of these women, their main goal is to get pregnant by one of these dudes so they can not work for the next 18 years, because they don't really care about the kid per se. Maybe they want a kid, maybe they don't care, but they're just trying to get that lick, man. They're trying to hit that lick. And it's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, there was one case, or probably not one case, but the big case was like, I think Holly Berry's ex-husband, like he tried to get child support for her kid.
Yeah.
Or was it his kid? I think it was his kid. They got married, and then after that, he tried to get child support for it. But either way, it was just like, yeah, it was. I'll have to look it up. I mean, I'll probably link the title or link the article in it. But yeah, he tried to play the reverse Uno card. Like, yo, you need to pay child support. But yeah, bro. I mean, these dudes are young. Like, they're coming out of college. IG, like, I don't know, man. Like, IG models are kind of like imaginary to me, because like, it's a platform that's literally like, if IG shut down tomorrow, then you're not an IG model anymore. You're just somebody who had a lot of pictures. I mean, I guess you're making money for the platform. And truthfully, what's the way social media is, every 5 to 6 years, I mean, usually a new social media platform comes around. So, I mean, I guess it's always going to be here. So, but the thing is, it's like, I don't get why these dudes in these positions only feel like they can get IG models, or like they're only going after IG models, when it's like there's a huge stigma around IG models, and it's just like, well, yeah, we that's one of the baddies, like we got to get her. And I think it's more so like the conquest thing, like where men are trying to conquer
And I think it's
these.
that human, sorry to cut you off, but I
No,
think
you're
it's that
good.
human thing of like, oh, like, your parents say, hey, don't do that, don't do that. It's like,
Yeah,
but I gotta try it.
yeah,
I think it's that
exactly.
too.
There was a quote, I can't remember. It's a it is either Kendrick Lamar, maybe Schoolboy Q, but they was like doing all the things. No, it's probably Kid Cudi, but doing all the things my parents warned me about till it wore me out. And that's
Mhm.
what it comes down to, bro. It's like everybody tells you, like, no, 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 no. All these old heads, like, nah, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And that goes into what we were saying earlier. Is like when we were younger, all these old dudes were like,
Yeah.
hey, focus on yourself, focus on school, don't focus on these females, get what you got to get out of life, and then you can relax later. But they never really gave us any context on why we needed to do these things, and then you have to kind of like go through the life and eventually figure these things out. A lot of us are also growing up without fathers, so it's like we don't have like father figures there to really guide us into what we need to be doing. So I mean, like you said, like we listen to these rappers, we listen to uh people who may not generally have our best interests in mind. And then, I mean, we went into the military, and then what's the stigma in the military? Like, and maintenance, at least, everybody's got like 2 or 3 divorces under the belt. Like,
Oh
dudes are getting
yeah.
strippers pregnant. Like, dudes are getting like like just random stuff. Like, and that's not even, that's just, I mean, that's normal life, to be honest. Like, we can't just fault the military for that. But in maintenance in general, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just goes on that you're just kind of like growing up in that, like, especially you think, what, you leave 18, 19 years old, come into that, and then it's like you got dudes who are 24, like, yeah, man, I'm on my third wife. Like, bro, you're
It's like, bro,
24. Like, bro, like we're talking
you
about like
grow.
lifetimes of like people who are like 47 who don't even have like 3 divorces, and you like you're
Oh man,
24, bro. Like,
telling
so
you.
I don't know, man. Like, it's getting wild out here in these streets. Like,
You like shout out to the Fresh and Fit podcast. Like I watch a lot of red pill content stuff on YouTube. And one thing that struck with me, and I don't know if this might sound sexist or whatever, but I think it makes sense. So women and men are different fundamentally in how society sees them. So women, they're pretty much born with value because outside of obviously, like, a woman can do anything a guy can do in terms of jobs, anything like that, like military stuff like that. But when it comes on to a I guess a conventional traditional way of looking at things, a woman can get a long way with her looks. Like if a woman, especially if a woman is very attractive, she can do very little and get pretty much be on cruise control in life. With
yeah,
men, it doesn't work the same way because as soon as you're 18, you're pretty much like, well, at least in America or in the West, as soon as you're 18, it's like boom, you got to prove yourself to the world, right? You either look like if you can't provide value to a woman or to society, like you're looked at as a bum,
yeah,
and the opposite is true. So my thing is this: I think before in our age when our old heads were telling us to like, concentrate on school, like blah 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 blah. I think they didn't articulate the fact that men need to concentrate on school, not only necessarily school, but just on a goal, whether that's getting your degree in medicine or law or whatever, whether that's opening your business, whether that's getting a trade. Focus on a goal that will set you up as a successful producing member of society, because at that point the women that you want, or the women of your caliber at your level, when you're there making 6 figures or you're living comfortably, you have your stuff together, then the woman will come looking for you. But if you spend your time running around trying to chase women, at the end of the day, you're going to be wasting time, you're going to be wasting money, and you're going to end up making bad decisions. And I think that's what the issue is today. Not to sound old, but it's like, seriously, women, when they're 18 to like 30 and, you know, they're the prime of their life, they can pretty much do anything. That's when like they're at their
Like, think
prime.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to bash them for anything, but I'm just saying, like, think about, like, if I'm 18 and like counterpart woman doing the same exact things that I'm doing, I miss work because I get sick or something like that.
Exactly.
I can't just hit somebody up and be like, yo, like, I missed a week of work. Like, can you spot me some rent money? Like,
no,
like, I can't, like, that's just not what's going to happen. Cause then people are going to be like,
cares.
yo, you're a bum. Like, what are you doing?
Nobody cares.
I'm starving out in these streets. Like, nobody's going to be like, oh man, that's crazy. Like, let me get you some food. Like, and with women, you can kind of just be like, oh, let me hit up somebody and be like, and they could literally just get on the internet and be like, hey, what's up? What's up with you? Talk to somebody for like 3-4 hours and be like, damn, that's crazy. I'm kind of hungry. Like, you trying to cash at me some like $20 so I can get a cheeseburger or something? Like, bro, like, I can't be like, yo, hey, cash at me like $10 so I can get a cheeseburger. Like, and the thing is, like, when you think about men doing that, like, most of the time it's your boys. Like,
exactly.
It's not, you hit a female up talking about like, yo, I'm down and out right now. Like, I mean, not saying that all females are like that, but like, I'd say the percentage is higher for women to get that. All right, I cash app you, and that's probably from multiple dudes, not even just one dude. Like, for a dude to do that, like, you kind of got to be like winning, like, at some point, like, So I will say that at certain times, certain situations are easier for women, and I mean, certain situations are going to be easier for men. We're talking about equality, but like, there's not really equality in a lot of these things. I mean, you can go many different directions with this, and I'm not trying to downplay anybody. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, women are better than men and men are better than women. None of that stuff. Like, I'm just trying to generally put the information out there and have people look at this as a different perspective, because I mean, it's I don't know, man. Like, I can't say that PJ Washington is in the wrong or right, because if you look at it, maybe he just chill. I mean, what about like him wanting companionship? Like, think about it. Like, he's going through, I get it, he's going through a lot, bruh. Like, and he got himself played. All right, he got himself played. But that doesn't mean that you have to classify every IG model as like somebody who's going to take advantage of him, because I mean, she could be the one, but
let me finish up the point before, like, you know, the round was going on. Pretty much like, you know, women, they're 18 or 30, their prime age, they can pretty much get a hold of any man they want. Not necessarily any man, but they have more options. But men, they have to build up, and by the time they're 30 and 40, that's when they reach their apex, and then, you know, they have their options. But to go back on what Willymane is talking about, that's his fault. That's his fault. Like, bruh, you are a basketball player. You are a basketball player in the NBA. You're literally like 1% of top men in the United States. You're probably even like 0.5 or less of black men in the United States. You can literally go anywhere in the Western world and get any woman you want. How in the world are you gonna pick a well-known like thotty like that?
Well, that's the thing too, is like, I don't see how all these NBA players literally like stay in the United States. Like, y'all can literally travel to like Italy, Spain, Portugal, like anywhere in the world, and like probably find a woman who doesn't know you, who will actually be like, oh, you look like you play basketball. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy that you think that. Like, let me take you out on a date. Let me do this, and that, and then actually find somebody who's down for him.
I'm telling you, like, regular middle class dudes could go to some of these countries and like find a super traditional wife that will like have a family and like take care of them and everything like that.
And not even be on Instagram, not be on Facebook, not be on.
And probably look as good or even better than some of these IG models, because not all of them are all that.
Yeah, it's like, especially with the filters and makeup and all that stuff like that. But
I guess dudes like to be Eskimo brothers or something. I don't know, man.
Yo, you saw what happened? What with the Phoenix Suns? And they like all got caught up, bro. Like, bro, that shit was wild. I was like, yo, the squad, like, and that's a big thing too. Is like, bro, like, I remember coming up and everybody's like, oh, squad goals, and I'm like, yo, y'all real life and out here trying to be Eskimo brothers, and I'm like, I'm not for it, bro. Like, that's kind of disgusting, bro. Like, that's kind of nasty. Like, oh yeah, like a known thought in the community, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I hit that. I'm like,
nah,
good, like, bro, come on, bro. Like, I get it to a certain extent, but it's never that serious. It's never
bruh, I
serious.
do not get it.
Just because
I'll go over
where I
and
grew
get
up
myself,
at, yeah, just where I grew up at, like, bro, I'm not saying, like, when I say I understand, I'm like, I know their state of thinking because I've heard these conversations in real life and been like mind blown. Like, bro, y'all, like, say that out loud, bro. Like, say that out loud. But yeah, bro. I mean, I just think dudes need to travel, bro. And it's the thing is like, yo, you guys are NBA players. You guys are like rich men, and you can travel the world.
Yeah.
Like, everybody like is in this United States bubble, like bubble, like super bubble. And I'm like, bro, get out of the United States. Like, go to Canada. Like, go to. And the thing is like, you think that you think about Lupe Fiasco. He rapped about Tokyo, Paris, like things like this, like. And I think that's why I was attracted to that type of music, because it was like, yeah, like, I want to go to Tokyo. I want to go to Paris. I want to see these different parts of the world. And it's truthfully not better. It's better in certain aspects as far as cultural awareness and seeing things from a different light. Let's just say that. It's a different light. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, but for me to see the other side, I know what grass I'm looking for at that point.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, bruh, like, you get in some countries, especially as a black dude, like, you get shown much love in a lot of these other countries. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go down the long-term route, there are some cultural issues that you might run into, but it's like, as Will says, man, like, travel, go outside of the country. Like, the world doesn't revolve around the United States, for real.
Like I mean, that's why, like, I want to get back to Japan so much, because like the hospitality is there. Like, it's, even if they're just like, oh, we don't like Americans, we don't like blacks, we don't like whatever race they don't like. It's not like the United States where it's like, yo, I'm getting called hard R's in the streets, or like I can't go to like the supermarket, like, and not get charged. Harassment. There's not really harassment in Japan. Like, nobody's harassing you. They don't like you. They just don't like you, and they keep to themselves. Like,
so like in Japan, just to like
segue,
introduce a little bit of anthropology. In Japan, they have this thing called haji, right, which means shame. So like it pretty much is like a social construct in a way that forces Japanese people in a certain societal behavior where they can't show shame. So like calling out people or making loud noises in public is kind of frowned upon. So if someone does hate you, like because you're black, or they don't like you because you're a foreigner, they're going to keep it to themselves. They might go home and talk shit about you back in their home, but they're not going to say anything in front of you. And they're not obligated, I guess, in a way, to like help you, like if
no
they're
matter
in a service, in a service.
It's like, damn, today I helped out some black dude, but I really didn't want to. But I'm a train conductor, so like I had to let him on the train. Like, and that's the thing too, is like, bro, like it's not even like I'm trying to talk mess or shit about the United States, bro, but like the hospitality in like other countries. Let's just talk about Japan in general.
So think Chick-fil-A, but like the whole entire society.
Exactly. That's what Japan is. It's like when you walk into Chick-fil-A and they're just like, yo, let me chase you down the street so I can like get you your sauce that you said you wanted. And I only like, bro, that's all of Japan, bro. Like,
pretty much.
And it's nice because like it kind of makes you want to act the same way. Like, I was like more chill in Japan. Like, I'd go out and not have like this high stress, high anxiety of like, am I gonna get shot today? Am I gonna get robbed today? Am I gonna get stabbed? Like, I could go out and just not worry about a lot of things that you have to worry about in the United States. Like even walking down like streets in the middle of the night, like I wasn't like what are they gonna do? Run up on me with a knife? Like
they're not.
Like
you might get stares.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not like I'm gonna walk past a group of Japanese dudes and they're just gonna be like, hey, let's jump this dude. Like, bro, I mean, even if they were in a gang or something like that, like they have a certain level of respect for their gangs that they are like, we don't need to draw attention to ourselves. So beating this random dude's ass is not gonna be beneficial to our gang because we're looking at the bigger picture as far as being gang members. So that's, I don't know, man. Like, it's like, I want to feel for this dude. Like, I really did at first because I was like, damn, like he took an L. And I thought that was going to be the drastic change where it's like, yo, we need to look at our system. We need to like this dude is literally like holding accountability for people who are literally finessing the system. And then he goes and does this, and it's just like, well, just flush that whole idea down the drain. Like these people don't realize that they're advocates and like they could literally change a lot of stuff by taking their situations to the next level, and we just continuously like just downplay what's going on, just like, oh, whatever. And the thing is, it's probably he's like, whatever, it's $200,000, I'll pay her. Like it's not that serious. Like it's not that serious until 10 years later, where he's not on a basketball team, where he's not doing anything with his career.
Exactly.
And he's only making $200,000. And they're still like, well, you're still obligated to pay this because you don't have the money for a lawyer. You don't have the money for this. You don't have the money for that. And I mean, maybe down the line they can work it out, but 18 years is a long time, bro. Like,
but you got to think this also. I believe he's a rookie. I believe so. Or he's very new in the NBA. So he doesn't necessarily have to get the same amount of money or get a re-up in his contract. And then he has all this added stress and everything. What if this other IG chick does the same thing that Brittany Renner does? How, is he going to be mentally healthy to play basketball for the next 10, 20 years? Who knows?
That's the thing is like,
the money doesn't last forever. You're on a contract. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing. These contracts are really not that great if you think about the lifestyle that they live. I mean, they could go out to a club one night and spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. I mean, you gotta think they buy a car. They're buying a car that's at least $100,000, period. Like whatever Mercedes they get, whatever Porsche they get, whatever that's that. I doubt that as a rookie, he's like, oh, I'm driving a Daewoo. Like, it's just not the move. Like, especially because like there's a status for the level of messing with IG models. Like if you don't got like a Mercedes, a BMW, this and that, big body Benz, like all this stuff, then they're just like, oh, well.
Yeah, they're not messing with you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, this dude's got a big body Benz. Why don't you got one? And then, bruh, it's just.
Do you think it's just a clout culture? Like, do you think it's like it's goated to mess with a particular IG model? Like how you said, the conquest thing.
So that's the thing too, is like we were just talking about, or I saw something on I think it was TikTok, but they were talking about flex culture. Like flex culture has become like, oh, I got the new Jordans, I got this, I got that, I got that. Like people dog on me because I got the Travis Scott ones and I don't wear them, and I'm like, for what, bro? Like, who am I wearing these shoes for? Like, I get it. Like, I like the shoes, I really do, but to me, I look at it as more as an investment. Like, I paid retail for these shoes and now they've 9 times the value, bro.
Wow.
Like I could look up like how much is Travis Scott ones on Go. I paid
your sneakerhead.
Yeah, I paid like $200 for these shoes. That was with shipping and everything like that. I think it was like $225 or something like that. And right now I could sell these shoes for $1,600 last time I looked at them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it's that serious, bro. Like,
damn, I need to get some tips from Willymane. Like, if you want to know your sneakers, like, go to him.
That's the thing is, like, I used to be a sneakerhead, like a super big sneakerhead, but like the flex culture, as they say, Yeah, the Travis Scott ones are going for $1,900 right now. Well, so you can instantly buy them from Goat for 2,500.
Yeah, you probably should sit on those a little bit more.
Like if I sit on these for 10, I mean, and that's the thing too, is like even if I sit on them for 10 years, like who cares if I wear them 10 years from now? Like it's all this flex culture is like, oh, you got them, you gotta wear them, you gotta wear them, you gotta wear them because so many people want them. And I'm like, bro, they're shoes. Like it's Travis Scott. Like he keeps releasing more and more. So it's like, yeah, I got the first edition of them, but I mean, the newest ones just came out and they're already going for 2,700 out the gate. One pair for instant new in box is $4,000. So it's like,
Jeez, man.
I'm not even holding on to like some gems like that. And there's way worse shoes out there that are more expensive than that. So the flex culture is kind of, I mean, that's what everybody wants right now. They want to have all these cars, they want to have all these shoes, they want to have all this like stuff. And in the long term, like what does this stuff really do for you? You got a bunch of used stuff that you blew money on. You have no investments, you have no long-term goals for anything. And it's like at one point, it's like, yo, the value of all this stuff is high, but like it's used. So like you're losing a quarter of your money, maybe even more, because you wanted to wear them out to the club one night and got them scuffed. Like I just started selling a lot of my older shoes and I sold them for more than what I bought them for. And
Yeah.
that was used. Some of them were used. Like some of them I sold for just retail just because it was my boys. So I was like, oh, whatever, man. Like I sold my homeboy, my Fear of Gods, my highs, my oatmeals for retail. I was like, yo, retail. I was like, I wore them one time out for a birthday party and the dude got so drunk that he didn't even see him. So it was kind of like, oh, well, I just wore these for 2 hours. Like, and then I literally threw them back in a box, like put them back in the plastic, threw them back in the box. I was like, all right, well, whatever, man. But I never really I mean, with COVID too, I never really had a chance to wear all my shoes. And it's not like I can't rebuild my shoe collection. And the thing is, flex culture is so bad that they don't value the shoes that we were trying to get back in the day. So like the Lightning 4s dropped. Right now, the resale value on them is $312. That's $112 over retail. Like that's nothing. That's actually dope. And the thing is like back in the day, like a shoe would release. I think about the Fear Fives. The Fear Fives released, and nobody could get these. A lot of stores didn't get the Fear Fives. They got the 4s because everybody had them. Those are like the general releases. And then the 3s were like even more limited release. But the Fear 5s, I paid resale value for those the day that they released. I paid $580 for them. Like my favorite pair of shoes. And I wear those. Like they're sitting right over here. Like I wear those because I love the shoe. But that was just the Travis Scott ones weren't. Like it's a shoe that I'm like, okay, this is more an investment for me because I hit it for retail. So it's kind of like, bro, I could literally trade that for a car. Like I remember when the paranormal, what you call it? What were they? Foam posits, like dudes, or maybe the Galaxy. I can't remember which foam posits they've been so. But either way, some foam posits released, and everybody was like, "Yo, I gotta get these." Blah blah. Dudes were trying to trade cars on Craigslist for these shoes. Like,
are you serious?
Like, yo, my used Ford Taurus, I'll trade you for these foam posits, and I'm like, bro, it's not that serious. Like, bro, for what? Like, what is the point? Like, so you can, so your boys can be like, oh man, he's got the foam pot. Like,
and then what if you get robbed?
Exactly. Like then it's like now you got a car and shoes, and dudes are really just robbing you at this point. Like, what do they got to lose, bro? Like you went in that store, you out here flexing, and they just rob you in the streets. Now what? Dudes is about that life, bro. Imagine me walking down an alley drunk with the Travis Scott ones on. What's gonna stop some dudes from literally robbing me for my Travis Scott ones?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, so flex culture is, I'm kind of over it, bro. Like it's because I still buy shoes, but I buy shoes under the radar because I know from being an old sneakerhead, like what I want. And I'm not gonna follow this culture of like, yo, because they keep releasing all these like releases, like limited release. They got the undefeated dunk lows right now, which is like a mixture of like the Air Force Ones and then the SB lows. And like they're reselling them for like $500-$600. And it's like, why are these $500-$600 just because they're a general limited release? Like there's going to be another limited release next month. So it's like at one point, everybody's going to have heat, as they say. And it's like, why does it matter? Like, are females really like, oh my goodness, you got the Travis Scott ones? Like,
no,
like, bro, it's usually a bunch of dudes. Like, if we're being honest, like, bro, like if I wear the Travis Scott ones out, more dudes are gonna be like, yo, I like your shoes than females, period.
Exactly. Facts.
So it's like, what are we flexing for? Like, are we like, so dudes can be like, oh man, that dude's got the Travis Scott ones, but it's like, yo, if I got the Travis Scott ones on, the originals, and then some dudes got the Travis Scott ones on the newest ones that just dropped, like, who's really flexing? Like, there's always going to be somebody out there with better shoes than you, period.
Exactly.
There's always going to be, like, you might be the flex boss that night, but then you get on Instagram and some dudes got 3 pairs of them, some dudes got 6 pairs of them. So it's like, am I really flexing at this point? Like, what am I flexing? I'm flexing on dudes
flexing
who don't
for
have
strangers them on the internet, man. It's like, it's not,
yeah,
not serious.
Like, and that it's I mean, that goes back. We'll have to do like a whole resale market and everything like that, because that is what is really, people are making a killing off of these shoes because people want them that bad. Like, and it's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy how much people will pay for these shoes, so much that it's actually ruining the art of being a sneakerhead. Because I mean, I can look on GOAT right now and I could scroll for like the next 30 minutes, and each one of these shoes, people could be like, oh, these are heat, these are heat, these are heat, these are heat, these are heat. So it's like, if everything is heat, then like,
what's the value of it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I got some Yeezy Boost 700 Wave Runners, like, and you got some Jordan 1s, like the Nigels or something like that. Like, they're both reselling for $400, but they're different shoes. They're different. It's different, bro. Like, I if anything, if I'm going out and I see somebody in the Travis Scott ones, I'm like, yo, those are dope. Like, I got those at the house. Oh, why aren't you wearing them? Because I don't need to wear them, bro. Like, having them, if we're talking about flexing, like, having them already is a flex. So it's like, why do I need to validate that by wearing them and devaluing the product? Like, but that's just me evolving past like this sneakerhead. Like, I gotta have every single release, because I was that dude who was like, every release, bro, every release, like, I need them. But that's a young mistake, and that goes back to being young and dumb. Like, bro, I made these purchases to the point where like my house literally I had no room to put shoes, bro. Like, I literally, every closet was full of shoes, bro. And I was just like, what am I doing, bro? Like I still got shoes in my closet right now that I'm just like, I wear the shoes that I have now, but I mean, I have like at least a couple pair that I've never worn, like, period, like, just chilling. Like, and to include the Travis Scott ones, like, my last like 5 purchases literally have not worn yet. I mean, and COVID really hit, and then I was like, well, what's the point of having 18 pairs of shoes? Then I can't even go anywhere. Like, so that was like an eye opener in itself.
I guess you can still sell them back. So, I mean, that's a good thing.
I mean, that's the thing, as I did. I had, so recently I sold the Bread 4s and the Cool Gray 4s that I had, because, and I bought a dog, bro. Like, I resold those and bought a dog. Like, everybody knows Ella. Come here. Ella. Where's she at? Come here. If y'all see her. Like, I bought her with these shoes that I resold. Like, she was the dude was selling her for $700 or 700 euro, and I sold my Cool Gray 4s and my Bread 4s for like 800, and I bought it for 6. Like, that's an investment, bro. And the thing is, not saying that I'm gonna breed her or anything like that, but like, even if she did have puppies, like, the puppies would go for $600. She's a full bred boxer from Germany. Like, think about these things, bro. Like, these dudes don't think about things like this. Like, what are 2 pair of Jordans sitting in the closet gonna do for me? when I can literally buy a dog that can produce money for me. And it's like, I'm not looking at her like that at all. Like, she's
Exactly,
my baby.
but like, you know, the
But like, yeah,
possibilities there.
exactly. That's the thing. It's like, and truthfully, I mean, my daughter was the one who was like, "Oh, I want this puppy," and I was like, "Oh, I can't tell her no." So, you know how that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because I mean, I remember having like a big dog when I was a kid and wanting a bigger dog, and my mom was like, "Nah, we can't." So,
Mhm.
and all she does is sit in the background and like play with her toys and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, the flex culture is, I'm kind of over it. Like, hype beasts literally took over, and that was a thing. Like back in the day, it used to be sneakerheads versus hype beasts, because you see the dudes who be in all Supreme, all Jordan outfits, and you're like, bro,
Yeah,
it's not that serious. Like, we get it. Like, you're a flex boss. Like, but now
it's
that's
like
become normal, bro. Like, dudes are literally
social media,
dressing
man.
up for, like, and that's the thing too, is like, I mean, on Instagram you can flex as hard as you want, and people will literally follow you and be like, oh my goodness, he's got all the freshest drip, blah blah blah, this and that. And it's like, yo, drip is temporary, sauce is forever, as they say. Like,
Exactly.
if you got the sauce, you got the sauce. Like, it's it is what it is. I mean, but I'm not worried, because like, when it comes down to it, I know what my goals and ambitions are. And I patiently wait, because I know at 42, 48, 40, like 52, like, I'm gonna be chilling. And a
Yeah,
lot of these dudes are gonna be not chilling. Like, they're gonna like messing with these IG models, going broke for flexing and all this other stuff. And I mean, not saying that I didn't live through that stuff. Like, I learned all these things, all these life lessons at a young age. And that's why I'm grateful for all the lessons that I learned. Maybe didn't make all the right decisions, but the decisions that I have made have got me to a point in my life where I can like really be like, I know what I want out of life, and I know where I'm going out of life. So, I mean,
exactly.
I have my toys, I have my PCs, I have my gaming systems, all that stuff. Like, and that's what I'm big on tech. So that's what I value at this point in my life. And that stuff
Do you think,
is,
but do you, oh, sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
no,
do
you're
you
good.
think it's like the lack of purpose that young men have in general that's like causing this stuff? Because, like, you know, back in the day, more so, I guess, when I see, you know, young men that had fathers or whatever, like they look up to their dads or they look up to another male figure and they'll be like, oh, like my dad was in the military, my uncle's in the military, I want to be like that. Or oh, my dad is a doctor, I want to be like that. Do you think is the lack of that presence in there? And then they look on their phones and social media and just kind of like it back in the day, like, you know, growing up in the hood, you might see certain dudes, gangsters on the street, and they said, oh, I want to be like that. But now it's like on the phone with social media, it's like, oh, I want to be like that. Do you think
So,
that's the issue that's causing all of this?
so think about it. I was watching another thing on IG, because I use IG for like more informational,
Hmm.
to see like how other people are living, not necessarily the models and all that stuff, but like people who are trying to make a difference out of their life, people who are seeing the things that are going on. And one of the dudes was saying that the younger generation is becoming numb to death, because their friends are dying in the hood, like people are going to jail, and it's just so consistent and it's so normal that they're not reacting to these things. They're just becoming numb to it. And the old heads back in the day, like, the ones that didn't go to jail were in the church, or they were in the community, they were on the block,
Yeah.
and they would see you doing stupid stuff and they'd be like, yo, come here, let me talk to you. Like, you think you really about to get somewhere doing this, like this and that? And they lace you up on game. But that's why a lot of people, I listen to E40, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't listen to E40 because he sounds goofy and stuff like that. But like, E40 used to lace game. Like, if you listen to E40, he dropped 3 albums a year at one
Hmm.
point, all of it gas, all of it, like, not even single saying like every single track, but like, he would teach you how to move in society, how to move as old school gangsters did. And that's the thing, is like, that's why I valued his word so much, because he was one of those rappers who was just like, if you're gonna be in these streets, I'm gonna teach you something, like, period. Like, don't like you just have to listen to E40. Like I know a lot of people are going to dog me out for that, but I don't care. Like
Mhm.
E40, like there's been a lot of situations that like listening to E40 has gotten me out of and just been like, okay. So the presence of not having the presence of more people who are generally speaking to the younger generation, yeah, I feel like that's a big thing. I think TikTok, to be honest, is a good platform, even though a lot of people say their content is being blocked. But if you do catch some good content on there and you're not just following all the trends and everything like that, there's a lot of men on there. There's a lot of black men in general talking about like, yo, value things more than just social media and things that are going to pass
Mhm.
away and be gone in 2 or 3 years. Like actually get careers, actually chase goals, actually learn from your mistakes and stop repeating the same old things over and over and over again, because it's a generational curse. If you allow that shit to happen, then it's just going to keep on repeating itself. It goes back to the saying is like, you want different results, but you repeat the same
Same thing.
actions over and over, expecting a different outcome. Like, and I think that's the biggest thing is like people don't want to change because they assume that maybe the people around them won't like them as much. Maybe them changing is going to be lead them to isolation and loneliness. But truthfully, you have to go through that. Like you have to go through that if you want to change at some point, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I'm a firm believer that the only person that's going to be there for you is yourself.
Yeah,
No matter
for
what,
sure.
no matter what. When you die, even if people are around you, they're not going with you. Like
Exactly.
you're literally leaving by yourself. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Oh man.
I mean,
Like
how do
you
you
said,
feel? Like, yeah, I mean, as far as like the younger generation and not having positive influences, I guess. Like
it's
what is the younger generation lacking in this day and age, and what can they actually do with the way society is with instant gratification, internet?
I think a
Like,
lot of the I just think a lot of the growing pains that young men and young women go through has just been amplified by social media and instant gratification. Because, like, for instance, before, right, when you look at women, like, women now have access to pretty much all types of dudes around the world because of social media. And like, if a woman doesn't have her priorities straight, she can get lost in that. And with dudes, if especially if they don't have, I mean, in both cases, but if they don't have like a strong male figure or just a mentor figure in their life, males can get wrapped up in like the glitz and the girls and the what's new, what's trending, and everything is like now, 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 now. There's no patience, and it's ruining a lot of men. Because you look at PJ Washington's situation, and it's like, if this dude had because he's in the NBA, I mean, in the beginning of his career, honestly, he should be concentrating on how he can be better, how he can be on the level of LeBron James and
yeah,
and
exactly.
Harden and those guys, right? Because look at LeBron now. Love him or hate him, he's one of the best players in the game right now, and he has movie deals and commercial deals and all this stuff. Like, if he does retire, he's set for life based on
Yeah.
the money that he's making, and he can go anywhere and like pretty much be good. But PJ Washington just barely started out and he already made this big blunder. And it's like, especially when it comes down to man, you just need to
And the
have a
worst part
goal.
is she could, I
Yeah.
mean, they could twist it both ways because he can write it. He like, I don't feel like he's going to, but he could have literally wrote a book on like, yo, this is how I was conned into it. This
Exactly.
is how you should avoid this. And he could have did so much with it. And the thing is, that's where women have men beat to a certain extent, where she's gonna write a book about this probably.
Oh,
She's gonna
yeah.
literally take advantage of the situation and make money off of it.
If I'm
And
not if I'm not mistaken, I think she already has a
yeah,
book.
she already has a book, but now she can literally write another book.
Yeah.
Not so much, but the thing is, with all the legal implications, she'll maybe write a book and not incriminate herself, but
Yeah.
essentially write like a book that's underlined like, this is what the situation was. This is how I'm living now. This is what I did with the money that he gave to me. Because I mean, it's that's where men and women differ. Is like they can literally take that and mold it and turn it into something more powerful than what men are going to do, because certain men are just going to be trapped in that endless loop of like his main goal right now is like, well, I got a new IG model. Like, bro, you played yourself. Like, and
exactly.
it's like, bro, it kind of makes it hard to like really back this man when it's like, bro, like get your priorities straight, bro. Like I get the fact that you want to be with somebody and like that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of like wanting somebody there to understand you and stuff like that. But like, no cap, like if he gets this other chick pregnant and then now he's got 2 babies mamas, like these dudes, like they don't learn, bro. Like, and then the thing is, like, he was all like tweeting and stuff, like, I just want to see my son. I just want this, and that. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, we're following, like we don't know this 2 sides to every story. And the thing is like, this is what sells, bro. Like, speculation, like conversations about these people who we don't know anything about their lives besides what they put on social media. And social media is not even a true depiction of like what they're actually going through.
Yeah, it's not real life. It's a lot of these people are just faking it for clout.
Exactly.
But I mean, my take on it, I don't know, this dude is a dummy. Like it's very hard as a young man between like, I want to say 18 to like 25 to go out in the world and not see how the interaction between male and females are. Like divorce rates are going up, marriage rates are going down. You know how it is with like women who are in this lifestyle, whatever. Like it's like there's
but
no
that's the
reason
thing
for
too,
you
is like
to deal with a woman like that.
So that's the thing, is like he was young, he came out of college, he just goes into the NBA. The fact is she was still older than him.
Yeah,
she groomed
10
him.
years older, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then bro, like
it was a wrap.
To a certain extent, she knew what she was doing. She took advantage of him. She took advantage of a young dude who didn't have experience with, I'm assuming, women at this point, because I mean he's about to repeat the same situation. Like if something like that happened to me, like I just wouldn't be talking to women in general. I'd just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm done. Like, and I would be making it a goal to get my son back at that point. Like if it's really that serious. I mean, he has all the means to hire a nanny to like literally be the father that he wants to be. He has a solid case for court, if he's being honest. And like he just fumbled the bag, bro. Like he just, because he's living in a certain lifestyle where it's like, whatever, man, like it's just money. I can always make money. But like you said, like these dudes have a time stamp on them. Like they're not going to be good forever. And I mean,
playing in sports, you're going to get injured.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like one injury and you're done. Like, and there's no severance package. There's no like, oh yeah, we feel bad that you got hurt. Like they'll just keep, I mean, D Rose, like think about him, like even with him being hurt, he had so much potential, but he never reached that peak that they were saying he was going to be the next Jordan, if we're being honest. He was supposed to be better than LeBron James, all these other people, and he just never reached it. And that's nothing that he could do himself. That was just, he got injured, bro. Like, and that was unfortunate. And you hate to see it, but like, I don't know, man. Like,
and if it's one reasoning behind, as men, getting your stuff together from you're very young, having a goal, is that you never want to be in a situation, in a financial situation, where you can't not work a job or you cannot do this thing to make money. You know what I mean? Because right now, for PJ Washington, since he has a baby with Brittany Renner and paying child support, there is no way he cannot stop playing basketball.
Yeah,
like he has to be constantly training, constantly making sure he's not getting hurt, because if he gets hurt, if he gets cut, it's a wrap for him.
And that's the thing too.
As a dude, you never want to be in that position.
I played basketball and I got hurt. Like,
Yeah.
and that was after, like, I mean, I remember, I mean, not saying that I was like going pro or anything. I mean, maybe if I would have stuck at it, to be honest, a lot of the dudes that I played traveling ball with went to college teams. So I could have at least got picked up for a college team as like maybe a second string or anything like that. But if I would have improved my craft, I could have potentially been a first string. And that goes back to like us wasting potential. Like, I didn't want to be just another dude playing basketball out the hood and just like, I'm only going to school because I'm on a scholarship. And here I am on academic probation because I'm not there for school. I'm just there to play sports. Like, and not saying that I wasn't smart or anything, and I'm not, but it's just like, I didn't want to live my life like that. My mom put me through sports for years, bro. I was on a traveling team. I tried out for the high school basketball team. I literally twisted my ankle on the first layup, and like motherfuckers don't let me live that down to this day. I still get roasted about that, but it's like, that was me being clumsy, to be honest. I mean, I was super clumsy. I overthought too much stuff. Like, I remember one time I got so excited at a basketball game that my grandparents were there, or my grandfather at the time, that I shot the ball in the wrong side of the court and scored for the other team. Like, yo, tragic, bro. But the thing was, it's like that was just me being me. Like, it was just one of those things. I saw my grandfather in the stands. I was like, oh, I'm about to make it. And like, the dude shot the ball and I got the rebound and somebody was like, shoot it. And I just shot it back up, bro. Like, I was so like out of it because I was just like hyped on the excitement and everything like that. But it'd be like that sometimes. I mean, that's just, yeah. But, bruh, he really fumbled the ball.
Protect yourself, man. That's all I got to say for you guys. Protect yourself, especially if you're in a higher tax bracket.
Oh, yeah.
It's very hard to find. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very hard to find a woman that will be there for you. Because if you notice, like a lot of these entertainers and athletes, those who are in long marriages, they met their girlfriends or their current wives when they were in high school or when they were in college, not during, you know what I mean, or not during their time when they were playing. So,
and that's the thing too, is not saying like don't trust IG models, because I'm pretty sure there's IG models out there that are actually like trying to be in relationships and stuff like that.
Are they though?
So you got to give people the benefit of the doubt, to be honest. I'm not saying that the ones that the NBA stars, but the thing is like, you got to think like, women have been thinking like men. Women have constantly been evolving. So it's like, can you blame them, to be honest? Like, it's a hustle, bro. Like, strippers been doing this shit for years. Like, so it's like, now I have a status and I can use that to my advantage to literally never work again. Like, I mean, think about our hustle, like, not even a hustle, but like, our goal is to hit retirement by doing whatever we can possible. So like, truthfully, if you look at it like that, if there was an easy button to get that retirement, then I'm gonna pull the trigger. Like, no cap. Like, everybody wants to just live their lives so then they can just do what they want to do. And for
that
them,
it's cost, like, though. That what cost?
Morals, values, like, I mean,
yeah.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, like I said, it's like, it's every man for themselves at the end of the day. Like, it's
true. Facts.
At the end of the day, nobody can put that money in your account but you. So nobody can support you but you. And the thing is, like, she had a kid. Not saying having a kid, being a single mother is bad or anything like that, but she can literally work out. Now she can literally do whatever she wants. So it's like, it's one of those things,
like, all I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, I'm not really blaming Brittany Renner because she is what she is.
Yeah.
But it's just, dudes just need to understand that there's certain women that might not be for your long-term benefit. And same with women, there might be some dudes that are not there for your long-term benefit. They're only there to use you. So just choose wisely, because at the end of the day, you have no one to blame for your choice in mate but yourself. Just be wise.
But we'll wrap this show up. We'll probably split it into 2 different shows. So we'll piece all the CJ Washington stuff together, and then all the life lesson stuff will go. But we'll have probably 2 videos up so that we can stay on topic as far as this one. But that'll be it for the podcast today. Pop is working a 9 to 5, so this man got to get some sleep.
For real.
But remember, like, subscribe, share to a friend if you think that this was an interesting topic. We're always going to be updating our conversations, and truthfully, we'll talk about anything. To be honest, I think there's a lot of things that can be talked about. There's a lot of information that's not common that people think are common, and there's like a lot of situations that people have just never been through. So I want to use this as a platform to use our experience as far as traveling, as far as life experiences. And we have 3 people here. Once Graham is back with us, and we all have different experiences. We all come from different walks of the world and life. So neither one of our experiences are going to be the same.
Exactly. Just send an email. Our email's in the description always, or leave it in the comment section. Whatever you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it.
Yep. So until next time, we need a catchphrase for when we go out.
Nah,
all right, like